80% of people don't pick up the phone. That right there, that number is a scary number when you think about it. 80% of people don't pick up. And some of my more popular videos have been about just that. 80% of people do not pick up the telephone. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today on this Saturday. If you're a telephone agent and you're actively working the telephones, you would agree with me that most people don't pick up when you call them. Whether you're calling them to set up appointments, make a presentation, bottom line, anytime you're making an outbound phone call, good luck. And, I've been talking about this for a very long time, but everybody can agree that ever since 2020, the response rates are horrible. I always say that, years ago when I would buy 50 leads a week, and I would start dialing on a Monday, by Friday I would at least have reached 75% of those people easily over the telephone. Today and age, I wish that was the case. But in most cases, again, over 80% of people do not pick up the telephone. And how much is that really costing you? Well, let me give you guys an example. Let's say you are working with a marketing firm, and that marketing firm is having a sale on their leads. In this case, we'll use Facebook. And they're selling them at $10 a lead. So you buy $1,000 worth, 100 of those leads at $10. And then you're thinking, you're coming out with a sweet deal, right? Because you got a $10 Facebook lead with a phone number, address, and they were calling in on a pretty good advertisement. Well, now you buy those leads, you pay the $1,000, and you start dialing. And by Friday, those people, over 80% of those people, have still not picked up the phone once. Think about that. 80% of them haven't. But let's say that you were lucky enough to dial, through that list of 100 leads a few times, and you were able to get a hold of 20% of them because the other 80% aren't picking up. How much did it really cost you at the end of the week for that lead? You paid $1,000. You got them for $10 a piece, but you only spoke to 20 people. Now that's once you've gone through those 100 phone numbers. So your true cost is that 20 divided by the $1,000 that you invested, and that comes to about $50 for that lead, for that opportunity to talk to that person that called into the ad. That truly is your cost. Not to mention when you factor in the cost of your time, the energy that it took, all of that is also factored into that cost, which is going to increase it, right? So for all of you guys, again, that are buying leads, you're new, you're going to find out real quick, if you haven't yet, that most of these people don't pick up. Now, you can be, relentless. I follow up with a text message, voicemail. I get creative. I find ways to reach out to them. But the reality is, because I myself, I'm on the phone every single day, most people don't pick up the phone. And I hate to say it, but the fortune's in the follow-up. So you got to do it. You got to stay true to that follow-up. But where am I going with this? Well, for a lot of you guys, when you guys see that live transfers, is a way for you to talk to people, but you're turned off by the cost. In my case, my lead system is $45 per inbound, per live inbound that we receive. It's $45. Now that sounds like a lot of money, and it is. Because if you don't close enough of these, then you can get out of control real fast. But the reality is that's $45 after I have crossed the 2-minute buffer, meaning that the person called into the advertisement looking for a quote for final expense, and I have that information, and once it crosses 2 minutes, then I am billed for that lead at $45. But guys, I'm only paying when I talk to somebody. That's a huge difference compared to when you're buying a lead only to chase, like the example I gave you. In my situation, every time I pay for $45, I'm talking to somebody that wants to talk to me about final expense. So yes, on the surface, that's a little more expensive. But when you look at my week compared to some of these other agents, you'll see that I have more activity in terms of actually pitching my final expense policies compared to the ones that are spending most of their time, again, dialing. So you can see that time is money, and if at the end of the week you spent more time dialing to talk to people and I spent more of my time talking to people, then who's going to win that race? I am. Because if you're not pitching, okay, not the dialing, but the pitching, if you're not doing a lot of that every single day, you're really not doing much. So how much money are you really saving by doing it the other way that I just mentioned? You're going to find out that you're really losing money because most people don't pick up the telephones. So if you guys are watching this and you've considered trying, the live inbounds, you can't go wrong, because these people, again, are watching our ads in real time, and in real time they're calling. And that's the best time to close somebody, when they have the highest interest in your product. It's in real time, right then and there. And then combine